Winners, butt kickers, champions. Vincent Rose here, the Fat Killer with H2G Fitness, coming to you from Starbucks. And when you're told to speak, you speak, so I'm speaking, and I'll roll with you here. Title of this message is Let Him Use You. And what I mean by that is this: you got a maker, and he put you here for a purpose, and it is our mission in life to find out what that purpose is. Vince, what's the meaning to life? It's to give your life meaning. And there's only one person that can give your life meaning, and it ain't you, it's him. On this ball of mud, we're here for a season, and it is a short season. And you have a role to fulfill in your life that only you can fulfill. You have talents that nobody else has. You have a thumbprint that nobody else has but you. There was never a person on this earth that was like you. There is never a person that will come after you're gone who will be you. You're you. You are unique. You were designed. And there ain't nobody else that can do what you can do. You were put here for a reason. Well, I ask you to ask your maker, God, what am I here for? Because wanna know what? I don't believe life is about getting up, going to work, coming home, watching TV, eating some dinner, going to sleep, and then doing that again. I don't believe life is about just hanging out on the weekends from time to time and paying bills. There has got to be something more than that. I'm here for a reason. What is that reason? Start asking that question. And then ask for wisdom, ask for knowledge, ask for guidance, ask for understanding, ask for answers to be revealed to you. And when you do that, you will start receiving answers. And when you get these answers, you can start acting on them. And when you start acting on them, you start living a fulfilled life. Because you're not just paying bills. You're not just doing the 9-to-5 grind. You're not just existing. You're not just succeeding. You're living a life of significance. There is not a single person on this earth who is capable of doing what you are doing. You were purposefully made, and it was for a reason. And I encourage you to seek out and figure out what that is. And don't get too scared, because once he starts telling you what to do, you're expected to do it. And when you start doing it, it's not always easy. It can be uncomfortable. It can get you way outside of your comfort zone. Because he's going to ask you to do things that on your own strength, you can't do and you're not capable of. We are not mentally, physically strong enough to fulfill the calling on our life on our own strength. But you can do all things through him who strengthens you. And when he calls you to do God-sized things, it's a God-sized person that's working inside of you. We all have a God-sized hole in our life, and we try to fill it with all types of silly little things. We fill it with video games. We fill it with hobbies. We fill it with alcohol. We fill it with junk. And it never gets filled. And there's a reason for that. It's because there's only one thing that can fill a God-sized hole in your life, and that's God. Did you get that? So, man, you can keep going around from day to day existing, paying bills, entertaining yourself, and doing that whole deal. Or you can accept there was never a person that's ever walked this earth who was me. And I was put here for a reason. I was put here to do great things. But I can't do them on my own. But it's okay, because the greater one is with you, and he will help do everything that he needs done through you. I'm asking you to be a willing vessel for him to use. Man, I walked away from my faith for a while. Vincent Rose was not putting out messages like this. Vincent Rose was standing in front of a mirror trying to show you my six-pack, trying to impress you. I don't want to impress people with my body anymore. I want to impress people where my true strength comes from. Because my true strength does not come from lifting weights. My true strength does not come from eating good foods. My strength comes from the strongest force on the entire universe, operating through me. Not on my might, on his. I am his hands, I am his feet, I am his voice. I ask him daily, show me what to do. And for a period of my life, for about 8-9 years of my life, I did that, and amazing things happened in my life. And I got away from it for a while. And I started doing things on my own strength. I started doing things on my own might. I started doing things on my own wisdom and understanding, and it didn't produce a very plentiful harvest in my life. But 3-4 weeks ago, I got back into this relationship, and there has not been more blessings that have happened in my life than ever before than what's happening right now. Answers come to me easily. Resources are just brought forth towards me, and it's because I'm operating in this whole seed time, harvest time. What does that mean? You can't give without getting. The more you give, the more you receive. And that's not the purpose for giving. The purpose for giving is because you're supposed to give. God loves a cheerful giver. He truly does. But he blesses you in return, right? You get a reward for it. And if you ever want to lose a fight, try to outgive God. You ain't gonna be able to do it. The more you give, the more you'll get. And the reason for that is if he can trust you with a little and then he gives you a lot, he can do more with the lot that he gave you. And if you were a good steward of the small, you'll be a good steward of the big. Why am I struggling financially? Why am I struggling relationally? Why am I struggling physically? Why am I struggling in my faith? Because you're not being a good steward of the talents that he's given you. And God's not going to bless you more abundantly. If he can't trust you with a little, he's not going to trust you with a lot. But if you are a good steward of your personal relationship, if you are a good steward of your finances, if you are a good steward of the people that he puts in your life that he wants you to impact, if you are a good steward of your physical body, then he can trust you to give you more. And he will mold, shape, craft, carve, and forge you into the person that he wants you to be. I thought you were a fitness guy. I'm a strength guy, and I know where my strength comes from. It ain't from the gym. You gotta be kidding me. So, I ain't trying to impress people with my body anymore. If I do a transformation, yeah, I'll pick up my shirt. I'll show you I got abs. Why? I do work in the fitness field, and so I have to prove that what I'm doing actually works. But I'm not posting up pictures anymore just for someone to give me a pat on the back and go, hey, you look great. I don't want to impress you with my body. I want to impress you with my soul. I don't want to influence you with my body. I want to influence you with my soul. Because you got a soul too. And when the stuff inside of me talks into the stuff inside of you, and it's not my words, but it's his, your life can change. And a changed life is a changed life. So, I'm just a messenger nowadays, I guess. I don't have a job. I got this silly little iPhone, and I have an ability to go live and roll with you guys. And I am his mouthpiece, and he's using it, and he's using it daily. And I thank him for it. It makes me uncomfortable as snot. Why? Because I know some of you that are listening to this, I'm turning you on. I know that some of you are listening to this, I'm turning you off. I'm making people uncomfortable, but it's okay. Because nothing beautiful grows inside of your comfort zone. You gotta get uncomfortable. Talking about stuff like this makes people uncomfortable. It's okay. Get uncomfortable. And you'll either run from it or you'll run to it. And if you run to it and one person is impacted by the words that he speaks through me, man, it was all worth it. I had no idea. I didn't even know what I was gonna talk about. I was sitting outside. I was about to go back inside and continue my work day. And as soon as I put my hand on the door, he said, sit. I sat. Why? Speak. I thought nothing of it. You want me to talk? I'll talk. It ain't me talking. Apparently you got something to say. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna let you roll. I cut the silly little camera on in the middle of the day, and I'm sitting out here and y'all think I'm a madman, and that's okay. But wanna know what? I know what my calling is on my life. I'm doing it every single day. I'm filled with more happiness and joy than I've ever had in my entire life because I know that I'm doing the thing that I'm supposed to do. It is an incredible thing when you live your life knowing that you are fulfilling your calling versus just existing. It's an incredible thing when you can live your life knowing that your works are producing harvests and that you're not the one that gets the credit for it. He does. This ain't doing this for me. I'm doing it for you because he needs to reach you, but he needs a mouthpiece to use in order to be able to do it. I'll be that mouthpiece. I'll roll with you. I'll share from the heart. I'll open up. I'll let go and let God. Vince, you're making me uncomfortable. Good. Because there was a long time in my life that I was real comfortable. And there was no good fruit in my life. but I have got comfortable with becoming uncomfortable. And the blessings, the windows of heaven are opened up and they're showering down blessings upon me. And I'm not blessed to be blessed. I'm blessed to be a blessing. I want to be a blessing going somewhere to happen. And what's neat is now we have this little silly thing called technology. And instead of me having to meet you in person or gather a meeting and have God speak through me to reach the masses, I can cut this silly little camera on and y'all jump in and y'all hear my words, his words, and you're impacted. And then this gets saved and I upload it to YouTube and more people see it. And these messages are permanent. And they will permanently impact people that I could have never reached, people in different countries, people on the East Coast, people on the West Coast, people that don't have cars. I got a lot of viewers that come in from different countries that I would never have a chance to meet in person. But I can cut this on and I can still influence them and impact them. I want to be a blessing going somewhere to happen. And I'm going to spend the rest of my life doing that. So I don't know if I'm gaining traction with people, and I don't know if I'm making people sign off, but I do know I'm fulfilling my calling. I do know that I'm happy. I do know what my purpose is. I do know that I'm being used, but I'm being used for great works, and it ain't for my glory, it's for his. So H2G Fitness is taking a different turn, guys. I used to be the dude. Look at my muscles. Look how lean I am. Look how good I've got my physical conditioning in. I want to inspire you with my body. How shallow is that? I am not somebody with a low self-image that needs somebody to tell me I look good, to make me feel good about myself. Do I like looking good? Yeah, I got flesh. I like when people go, man, I can tell you work out. Yeah, I do. I like that. It's encouraging. But is that my purpose? My purpose is to walk this earth, be lean, have muscles, be vascular, and inspire people with how committed I am to my diet and working out. That's all I'm here for? That's not all I'm here for. My fitness is my ministry. I think you're starting to understand that. So, the messages are a little bit different nowadays. And it's going to attract a whole different audience. It's going to take off some people that used to be part of it. But the people that it attracts are going to be influenced, and they're going to be influenced in a big, mighty way. And if it inspires you guys to stop living for you and start living for him and start doing his work, then want to know what? His work is getting done. And his work needs to get done. There's a lot of darkness. Talked about that last night, darkness and light. There's a whole lot of darkness in this earth. We need some more people to shine light. What are you doing, Vincent? I'm shining the light as bright as I can. Why? Because if my candle is lit and I lit yours, now we have more light. If you take, God bless you, if you take your candle and then go light other people's, it's more light. And they go light people's candles, it's more light. They go light other people's candles, we'll light up the world. Don't you ever think that a small band of committed people can't change this world. Fact of the matter is, that's all that ever has. I'm a candle lighter. I want to light you up. Why? So you can go light others up. Why? There's a lot of darkness in this world. We need more light. So go be light. Title of this message is Let Him Use You. And I promise you this, you do it for 24 hours, you're going to want to do it for another 24. And if you do it for enough days, you're going to have done it for a week, and you're going to want to do it for another week. If you do it for enough weeks, you've done it for a month, you're going to want to do it for another month. Do it for enough months, you have done it for a year, and you're going to spend the rest of your years of your life being used. Let him use you if you want to live a great life. How do the blessings come upon you? Go be a blessing. How do you get more money? Go sow money. How do you get more time? Go sow time. How do you get better relationships? Be a person that builds good relationships. If you are lacking and you need to get, you have to give. God doesn't give you a harvest because you need a harvest. God gives you a harvest because you took your seed, you planted it. There was a seed time, there was a progression time, and now there's a harvest time, and you'll have a harvest in your life. You can sit in your chair, in your car, in your room, crying and praying all day long to God.